Looking for a squeeze here into 76.70. If we're gonna kind of hold the spot where we're at. If I'm wrong, I'm willing to admit it. I think I got the lower high is what I was looking for off the high here. So if you look at this chart down on the bottom, you can see we placed this high, kind of fell back, getting a little jammed up right here. If this area holds, this is right where we're short. Trying to get 70 and then push towards 50, which is higher time frame support. You can see if you look on the 4-hour chart here, we are testing a bunch of resistance. Whether this is going to stick or not, I don't normally trade this just late in the day. It just kind of fell into my lap, and I was sitting here doing some work, and I was like, well, I like it. It checks my boxes. You know, testing a significant trend line here, so that kind of is what it is. If I go to the 4-hour chart, you can see this is where we're getting kind of jammed up right now. So if we reject this, I think I can get some pushback if the high has been placed for the day. This is the high for the day. And this area here holds where we're short. I'm looking for some slippage. And, importantly, we got a little caught up there at 75. But if we can push through 75 and there's a chance we can kind of breathe our way a little bit deeper into 70, I'll cover half my position, move my stop to break even. But if this holds and it pops back against me, I don't necessarily know that I want to fight to find out if this is the high of the day or not. So if you look at the cumulative delta, you can see these highs played before, and then we had the sell-off. I mean, this is a significantly, lower delta high compared to a significantly higher price high. So I'm just looking to try to grab this a little bit to the downside here. It doesn't seem super committed. We're going to go into the close in about an hour of the crude session, 55 minutes, roughly. But if I can get this to just retrace a little bit, I may just cover the whole thing. But I'm definitely advancing my stop if we can push 70 and then see how it goes. So we're just going to sit here and watch, see if we can get that leg into 70. If it legs into 70, I'm going to be super happy about it. I'll probably bump my stop just a tick into the profit if we can get 70. So just dancing at 75, 76. Got to get that push just a little bit deeper. I'm a little concerned about this this candle here at 1205, potentially being a support area. So that's why I'm saying if we roll through, I am a little concerned about the low. So my target's right at the top of that candle. Just got to get that to the downside. So there's a little liquidity on the book map, 76.60, not a ton. It's actually more liquidity overhead, which is fine. We're quite a ways away from the VWAP, so I feel pretty confident that we could probably squeeze here. I may take the whole thing off at 70. We'll see. There's 71. We're getting a little bit of a bounce. Let's see if we could fill 70. Probably see if I could take 5 more off here at 60 if we fill 70. Just want to see how aggressive the bounce is. So we're coming into that candle that really was the onset to that push higher. If the high of the day's in, then we could still definitely go lower. But I'm looking for a, like a full-fledged push here. I'm not trying to dance with it. And if it does pull back and keeps me in, I may add to the position. So we'll see. We're at 1-to-1 right now. Really like to get that 70 filled before I advance my stop. Got a little liquidity down there at 60. There we go. We're in it. I'm going to just bump that in a little bit. And I'm going to probably start the process of taking more off here at... let's see if we buy 5 back at 60 if we get a real push there. I'm going to probably tighten my stop just a little bit because I really don't want to give it back. I am a little concerned, like I said, about that 1205 candle. Don't dislike this candle so far. I just know what I'm pushing against. That's my only concern. That locked in $1,400. Still don't dislike what I see. See if we could push 60. If we push 60, I'm going to advance my stop a little bit deeper. Friday afternoon, I should probably just be taking this off, but I had a good morning, so I'm going to let this play out. If it works, great. If I get knocked out, whatever. Kind of hoping the low of these couple candles here hold any pushback. Alright, so we'll see if it does. Get that crap out of the way. So if we hold like 75, 76 as resistance, this is the candle I'm concerned about, this one right here. So that's why I'm trying to grab a little more profit. You could also see point of control here right at like 56. So I'm trying to take a little more off at 60. And then I will run the stop down. If the stop, then if it gets stopped out, it'll at least be deeper in the profit. But if this just rejects and comes right back to my entry, then it is what it is. Like I said, I had a good morning. I really like this setup. So far, I still like what I see on the footprint chart. If we got a hesitation candle and then a flush, that'd be cool. If that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. We are in a relatively, we've been in an uptrend basically since we retested the prior lows. And again, it all kind of comes down to, was the high of the day already placed? If I feel like I'm losing confidence in this trade, I will just close it out. But so far, there's no evidence to support exiting the trade. We get 60, I'm going to probably go to the high of that last candle, the candle that's printing currently. So if 5-minute chart. Even if that gets me knocked out, it gets me deeper in the profit. The joys of being a day trader. Hurry up and wait. There's 65, just tiptoeing through the bottom of that prior candle. So really looking for 60, and then I'm running the stop tighter. Fill my order, which is less than desirable, but I'm moving the stop anyway because I'm not willing to give much more back at this point because I know what we're running into. Didn't cross the spread there. Come on. This is what happens, right? Sometimes it doesn't go the way you want it to. So I'm going to, I don't like the way that candle ended, because I know what I'm pushing into. Not much I can do about it now. May take some off if we fall back below 65, just in case we reverse heavily. Didn't love the way that last candle finished on the footprint chart. There's a lot of, as you can see on the book map, got a lot of orders filled there. Alright, so we probably ran a bunch of stops. See, 76.35 got some strong liquidity. I'm just afraid those stops are going to push back too hard on me. So I may cover 5. 76.65. Just didn't cover the spread. Sucks when that happens, but that's part of life. Hoping after those stops got ran, you can see here on the book map, right? See all these little dots? See these numbers? These are all a bunch of stops that got ran. So as price came down, ran a bunch of stops, got pushed back, ran a bunch of stops, got pushed back. You know, if we can still hold below, I mean, I got my stop here at 75. If we can take another push, we have some liquidity at 50, and now a good amount of liquidity down here, 76.35. So if we draw into the liquidity before we get a pullback, this may go okay. Like I said, I may just cover 5 here anyway. I'm gonna cover 5. Cancel this order. Listen, it may run through 60, but irrelevant. At this point, what's 5 ticks? It's Friday afternoon. I'm not going to get super picky here. Now, we will run into the rolling VWAP before we get to 76.5. There's a little liquidity at 76.5. I may bump my target to 76.55. Just barring what the book map's telling me. It's just below the low of that 12.05 candle I've been telling you I'm a little concerned about. So we locked in 1,400 and then an additional 950. So we're okay. We're okay. So this low right here is what I keep watching, as it was the push higher earlier. So this is going to be a super important low. You guys see what I'm saying right there? Just marked it off. That low is going to be a super duper key level. So it's right at 57. My target's just below it, and maybe I'm gambling a little bit. But again, I'm not. We can push the low of this candle. I think we can push the low of this candle. Now, if we can't, listen, we're basically tossing the dice, rolling the dice here on $1,000. We're gonna get stopped out with 450, okay? Or if we get to 55, we're gonna take 1450 as profit. If I wasn't so concerned about what we're fighting, I think we're gonna get knocked out. But if I wasn't so concerned about the low of this candle and the low of this candle, I would probably consider adding to this position right now. But again, it's Friday afternoon. I'm not gonna get super creative. I'm totally fine getting stopped out. We took decent profits already. Low risk. Highly calculated trade. Not disappointed in the way it played out at all. My 60 order didn't get filled, didn't cross the spread on a limit order. It happens. I can live with it. It's a decent morning this morning. Even if we get stopped out, we're walking away with $2,800 minus fees, of course, inside of a relatively short period of time, 20 minutes. Would love to squeeze lower, but like I said, I know exactly what we're kind of fighting. Just tested the 8 EMA there on my 3-minute reference chart on that last candle. I mean, if this trend is established, and we're going to keep going through the VWAPs, that's probably enough to apply pressure. But we'll see. We'll see. So you can see on the 4-hour chart there, top right, we are in, right at significant higher time frame resistance. You notice this area right here as well, little consolidative state. That's what we're kind of pushing at right now. Show it to you here, like I said before. Consolidative state here on the 4-hour. That's where we're at. Got several downward trend lines and channel structures putting pressure on the current level. But whether we're going to get the kickback that takes us out or not, we'll see. Like I said, on the 3-minute reference chart, we just tested the 8 EMA. We're holding it, but I am concerned about that, the low. I think we're going to get stopped out. just a hair away from my stop. This next candle will close in about 40 seconds. We'll get a kind of an ability to regroup on what this footprint chart closes like. If it closes a little lower than it opens, I still don't feel terrible about it. I mean, I don't hate it. The toss here is we get stopped out with 2,800 bucks profit, or we hit our 76.55 target and take $3,800 worth of profit. That's what we're waiting on here. We're waiting on to see if we're gonna make an extra grand or not. We've already covered 3/4 of this position. We're well protected. Are we going to flush the rolling VWAP? That's the question. And if we are, can we flush the low of that 1205 candle that I have marked off on the chart? And if we do, we put an extra $1,000 in the bank. If we don't, it's okay. Still live with it. Not upset about it. Really like the entry. Felt good about it. the candle we got short on right there at 120. So the one right there. This is the candle of concern. This candle will determine the fate of $2,800 profit or $3,800 profit. 1205 low. This candle here at 145, strong finish on the bottom. That's why I tighten the stop up, because if we're going to reverse, we're going to probably hold the 140 candle. Or if we're going to take a steeper correction, I should say. But if we flush that 140 candle, I think we push through the 1205 candle. And listen, for $1,000, I'm not going to cut it short. It's either going to either give it to me or it's not. And if it doesn't, so be it. Like I'm not going to chase around $1,000. Good morning. This trade's been good to me so far. I'll actually gladly take the stop out. That last candle that printed right there, a little concerning. That may push us to the stop. We're going to get taken out right now. Boom. And we're out. Alright guys, well, I wanted to show you how I managed to trade live, where the stop is placed, what it looks like, what my thought process is as it transpires. I hope you found this informational. If I can help you in any way, of course, feel free to reach out, but not too shabby. Pulled off $2,800 inside of about 40 minutes. Right now, listen, the market may plummet right here. Fine. Like I said, not going to get upset about it. It's a Friday afternoon. Had a solid morning. Had a pretty good week. I think one day was kind of crappy. Like, I think it was like net $2,000. It was just a fight. Like, watch, price is going to sink right now. But it's okay. It's okay. Listen, you can't get emotionally upset about it. You just got to be like, all right, I had a plan. My plan was to protect my position. I did it. Whatever happens next doesn't matter, right? Once you've made a choice, that choice is what it is. So again, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something from it. Kind of see how it's done. How the way I do it. It may not be the way you do it, but I look for low risk, high probability. I take profits quickly. I advance my stop quickly. My losses, when they occur, are very small and very infrequent. I get a lot of break-even stop outs, but when there's a chance to pay and protect myself, I always do, and I've taught that to my clients for a lot of years. God bless. I will see you in the next video, and I hope you have a wonderful day.